Hi everyone, my name is Ala Iguma, and so today I will be talking on business scenario, which is just a brief description of any occurring business situation involving two or more variables. So my team and I decide to select AirAsia Berhad as a business in this research. The reason why we choose AirAsia is because we know that the AirAsia is one of the aircraft service in Malaysia because of the cheap price. That is why here we want to know whether AAG has a good sale or not. For the survey to be conducted, we shall require now coming to the variable require independent variable and dependent variable. What is an independent variable? An independent variable is one of the variable contained in an experiment or analysis procedure in which the investigator control the variation of the factor concisely. The independent variable which represent the causal factor of the study and the dependent variable which represent the outcome. Our independent variable are ticket price, flight frequency, and customer experience. While dependent variable is sale performance, covariance, standard deviation, mean and maximum value, including t-test, the normality test, Pearson correlation, Cronbach alpha, regression R square, regression coefficient and R square, and multicollinearity will be computed from SPSS. We will also indicate how this test bears some relationship to the hypothesis we are testing in our study on AirAsia pricing strategy, flight frequency, and customer satisfaction. Next, let's talk about standard deviation, minimum, and maximum value. Okay, these are the measures that assist us when we need to investigate on the distribution of data. Standard deviation tries to express the extent that the value are deviated from the mean. A small value of a standard deviation indicates most of the value are located close to the mean, while large value of standard deviation indicates that they are located far from the mean. Okay, minimum value is the first value in the data set. Okay, maximum value is the greatest value of a set of data. To calculate this in SPSS, so this is our calculate, we select in the menu bar, move to the descriptive, the statistic, and finally choose descriptive. Just choose the variable you wish to analyze and click OK. So this is our mean and standard deviation, minimum, and maximum value. What is a t-test? The t-test evaluates whether the means of two data sets are significantly different. It assumes a normal distribution of data and is particularly useful when working with a small sample sizes. There are three types of t-tests. One sample t-test compares the sample mean to a no value. Independent sample t-test compare means from two independent groups. Pair sample t-test compare mean from the same group at two different times. The next one is normality test. A normality test is used to determine if a data set follows a normal distribution in SPSS. There are two common normality tests. Shapiro-Wilk test, best for small sample size. It tests the null hypothesis that the data is normally distributed. Kolmogorov-Smirnov test, suitable for larger sample. It compares the sample distribution to a normal distribution. To perform a normative test in SPSS, first, you need to go to Analyze and Descriptive Statistics, and then Explore. In the Plot section, check normative plot with test and click OK. So you got the result like this. So the output will include a p-value. If the p-value is less than 0.05, the data significantly deviates from normality. If it's greater than 0.05, the data is considered normally distributed.
Next, we have Cronbach alpha, which measure the external consistency and or reliability of a set of items, such as survey question. It tells whether the question in a survey are consistently measuring the same concept. In our case, we calculated Cronbach alpha for the customer experience question. A Cronbach alpha value above 0.7 is generally considered acceptable, indicating good external consistency. To calculate Cronbach alpha is SPSS. Go to Analyze, Scale, Variability Analysis. select your item and click OK. The output will provide the converge alpha value. If the value is too high, say above 0.95, it might indicate that some questions are redundant. Let's move on the coefficient and R sequence, which are important in regression analysis. The coefficients show the effect on independent variable on the dependent variable. For example, in our study, the coefficient for light frequency might show how much customer satisfaction changes with an increase the number of flights. R squared tells us how much of variation in dependent variable is explained by the independent variables, explained by our predicators, such as ticket prices, flight frequency, and customer experience. To calculate coefficient at R squared in SPSS, go to Analyze, Regression, and Linear. Select your dependent and independent variables and click OK. The output will show both of coefficient and R squared value. Now, let's talk about multicollinearity. This occurs when two or more independent variables are highly correlated with each other. It makes it difficult to determine the individual effect and each variable on independent variable. In our study, multicollinearity could occur between variables such as ticket prices, customer experience, which might both impact customer satisfaction. To detect multicollinearity in SPSS, go to Analyze, Regression, and Linear. In the Statistics section, check collinearity diagnosis tip. Look the output variance information factor VIF in the output. If the VIF is above 5, it indicates moderate multicollinearity, and if it is above 10, it indicated severe multicollinearity.
Okay, for the hypothesis testing, first is ticket price. No hypothesis HO, AirAsia's ticket price and customer certificate do not have any kind of correlation. Alternative hypothesis H1, ticket price has a strong relationship with customer previous value for money for Asia. So for the conclusion, reject HO. Based on the result obtained, there is enough evidence to support the hypothesis that ticket price influence the customer perceived value for money.
Number 2. Flight frequency. Null hypothesis, HO. A relationship between the flight frequency and customer satisfaction or the market does not exist. H1. Based on the regularity of flight, the customer appears satisfied as a result, hence meeting the market demand. Conclusion, reject HO. The analysis reveals that the factors such as flight frequency are insignificant determinants of the level of customer satisfaction and the corresponding market demand. Number 3, customer experience. Null hypothesis, which is HO. Loyal customers are semi-prone, and other influencing factors like flight service delivery and punctuality do not have any relationship with loyalty. H1. It is thus evident that enhanced or optimized customer experience always lead to better customer retention. Conclusion, reject HO. This research show that the concept of customer experience when implemented will help to increase customer satisfaction and customer retention. Number 4 is our dependent variable, which is sales performance. Null hypothesis HO is the price and flight frequency have no correlation with price, and sales growth is not related to price or flight connectivity. H1 is the pattern of flight price and the access to flight are correlated with the sales performance. So in the conclusion, reject HO. It is therefore observable from the result that both price and flight connectivity are strong determinants of sale performance. In summary, I want to talk about hypothesis. So the hypothesis model outlines a perform conceptual framework for investigating the interconnection between strategic variable in the operation of AirAsia. Through hypothesis testing, it becomes easy for researcher to confirm or deny the claims, and since the company is in satisfying the customer to elate, retain them, and increase their sale, they would make the necessary improvement based on the test results.
Okay, for the conclusion, understanding this statistical concept help us analyze data more effective in SPSS. Presence correction shows the strength of relationships. Converge alpha check reliability. Co-effective and R-square help us understand regressive models, and multicollinearity diagnosis ensure our models that are not based by highly correlation variables. Distribution statistics and normalities tests provide additional insight into the distribution of our data. Applying these methods to our AirAsia study allows us to make data-driven decisions to improve customer certificate, optimize pricing strategies, and increase operation effectiveness. Thank you for your attention.